Hi guys, and welcome to another What's for Dinner video. My name is Crystal, and this week we showed you some holiday cooking and baking. If you enjoy What's for Dinner videos, please give this video a thumbs up, and for more videos like this, feel free to hit that subscribe button. You can always click the share button to share this video with your friends and family. So let's get started. So I'm going to be starting off by making this spiral ham. This is my favorite way to cook a spiral ham. It's very easy and delicious, and I do prefer the Costco one, but on this day we had the Sam's Choice one, which ended up working just fine. And then I use sliced pineapple, some cherries. I also like to use cloves and toothpicks, and I usually use a oven bag, but I was out, so I used aluminum foil, which was just fine. I actually do have a video in explaining and measuring, showing you exactly how I make the Costco one, which is very similar to this one. If you're interested, I will put it down in the description. And this ham is perfect for any occasion. We honestly made this just on a regular day. It was before the holidays, a few days before Christmas, but this is perfect for Thanksgiving. If you like to eat ham on Christmas, you could definitely use that for Christmas, or also too for Easter. So any day is actually really good. We combined this with mashed potatoes and corn, and it was really delicious. So I'm going to start by opening the packet, and then it has like a little, sometimes it comes with like a little plastic thing. I just removed that. And then this ham was pretty small, but what I do is I cook this, so I preheat my oven to 400, and I have it in there for about 45 minutes to an hour. So I'm going to start by making the brown sugar glaze. This is the packet that it comes with, the spiral ham. If you don't have this, you can just pretty much make your own. But with this glaze, instead of adding water, I add pineapple juice. I just feel like it gives it more flavor. I did notice there was a difference with the glaze from the Costco one to the Sam's Choice one. I do believe that the Costco one is way better than this one, but it still worked out and it was still delicious. It's just, in my opinion, I do prefer the Costco one. No hate to Sam's Club. So over here I start by adding the pineapple, and what I do is I use a toothpick, and I will use about 3 to 4 toothpicks per pineapple, and this is just to secure it because the cloves is what's going to give it flavor, but it's not going to hold the pineapple in place. Now if you do not like adding pineapple or even eat pineapple, definitely just skip out and don't add the pineapple. I would just probably leave the cloves on there just to give it a little bit of flavor, but I do love adding pineapple. I feel like it gives it a really good flavor to the ham, and then I even eat the pineapple with my ham. So what I do is I put the cherry in the middle, and I put a toothpick, and then I add the cloves, and I just love the way it looks. It looks so festive. And you don't have to do it in this order the way I'm making it. I've always said in my What's for Dinner videos, if you don't want to do it that way, you can switch it up and definitely make it your own. So once my glaze is boiling, that's when I'm gonna add it to it. That's when I turn it off. Sometimes I've had to let it set to the side to cool down, and then I add it, but the longer you let it cool down, the more thicker it'll come. And I honestly, to me there's no wrong or right way to do this. You can do this before, you can brush it after. I just like pouring it like this. I used to brush it on, and I feel like it doesn't make any difference, so I just pour it on, and honestly I just love seeing it over, and then I make sure I cover it. This is one of the most important parts of making a spiral ham to me, is making sure it's nice and covered. If not, the ham will be too dry, and to me that is a no-no. It needs to be nice and juicy, and to me I have to cover it with a foil. I honestly do prefer the oven bags, but if you don't have them, foil will be just fine. I put this in the oven, and this is already a fully cooked ham, but I do leave it in there for about 45 minutes to an hour, and it just comes out nice and perfect. Make sure to take out the toothpicks because you don't want nobody choking. Please take out those toothpicks. That's what I do. I flip it over and cut it, and this is what it looks like. My mother-in-law made mashed potatoes and corn, and she made some rolls with butter in the oven, and we plated this up and just had this for a regular dinner. It was so good. Jump into the car. So I'm going to start by making some grilled onions, and grilled onions are very easy to make. It gives any dish that you want to eat so much flavor. I love adding this to different dishes, like for example today that I'm cooking some chicken. So what I'm doing is I'll either slice them up this way or I will dice them up, just depending how I want them. And on this day, since we're having it on top of chicken, I'm just slicing a whole onion since we really like grilled onions. So I'm going to start by adding some cooking spray to my pan. I used to use oil, so feel free to use either one that you like. And then I'm adding the onions. I'm cooking this on low for about 20 minutes. The longer it cooks on low, the more time it has to caramelize. I didn't have too much time this time, so I just did my best. And I like to add a little bit of pepper and some garlic salt just to give it some flavor. And then now I'm going to be making some chicken steak. Now I know chicken steak is actually a different meal, but the reason that I call this chicken steak is because I cook chicken breasts and I season them the same way I were to make like a prime rib or a nice good cut of steak. But the reason I do this is because I remember back in the day when we were trying to save money, or we were on a budget, or we were making a birthday party for my daughter. This is a great way to save money. Instead of buying steak, I would just get chicken breast on sale, and I would season them the same way as I do my steaks, and that's why I call it chicken steak. So instead of having steak, we had chicken, and it's a great way to save money and also kind of like mimic the taste of steak, and it's actually pretty good. So I use this seasoning. That seasoning is a homemade seasoning that I use. If you guys want the actual ingredients to it, I will put it down in the description. It's just a combination of different seasonings that my husband likes to use, and then I cook it with the lid on for about 10 minutes. So now that I cook the chicken 10 minutes on one side, I flip it over and cook it on 10 minutes the next side. I do have it on a medium heat because I want it to form a crust, but I also don't want it to dry out. Now that I took out the grilled onions, I'm putting a little bit of butter spray and some cooking spray to cook up the zucchinis. What I like about cooking up zucchinis is they cook up pretty fast, and I just season them with a bit of seasoning, some black pepper, and then I actually add some soy sauce to it to give it some really good flavor. So when I'm making the chicken steak, I like to add toppings to it to make it very flavorful. Now that the chicken is fully cooked, I'm going to be adding some mushrooms, and then I just add some black pepper and a little bit of cooking spray just to cook up whatever flavor from the chicken in the pan that's in there. And the mushrooms cook pretty quick, and it is very delicious on top of your chicken with the grilled onions. So now I'm plating up my chicken. I'm adding the grilled onions on top. I noticed at this time my camera wasn't focusing. I do apologize. It will clear up in a bit. And then I'm going to be adding the mushrooms. I'm the only one that likes mushrooms in my family, so the mushrooms are just for me. And then I'm also going to be adding the zucchini as well as just a little bit of that sauce that it made. And then I'm going to be adding a baked potato. I did cook up some baked potatoes. I cooked them up for 400 in the oven for about an hour, and I did cover them with foil. And then on top of my baked potato, I like adding salt and pepper, some butter, some cheddar cheese, and then I used to add sour cream sometimes, but now I just add Greek yogurt, and I really don't taste the difference. And this is what it looks like. I like to add a little bit of A1 sauce to the chicken as well as to the baked potato. I feel like it gives it really good flavor. If you don't like cooking with chicken breast, definitely could use dark meat, whatever you feel comfortable with. On this day, we went over to my mother-in-law's and had shredded turkey tacos, and these are some of the favorite toppings that we use. If you're looking for a recipe on how to make a Mexican rice or mashed potatoes, I will link down those videos that I did show in a previous What's for Dinner. On this day, we went to a holiday potluck, so we had some steak and we also had some nachos, and then I made some peppermint bark, and it was very simple how to make it. It was my first time making it. I just melted some white chocolate, some milk chocolate, and then crushed some candy canes and I added on top, and it was a huge hit at the potluck. So on this day, we went over to my mother-in-law. She requested that she wanted some chicken patties, so we ended up making them at her place. She made some french fries, and this is what we had for dinner. Very easy and very simple. So I do hope you enjoyed this week What's for Dinner video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye!
You look so beautiful, and I'm so lucky to be yours.